training. More training. I got a good cup of coffee. It's stupid early. But let's see here. I'll go either hunting this weekend or go to the shooting range. Haven't decided yet. Hunting would be great. It's so hot right now. I know some of y'all live in California, Ohio, all over the place. We got friends that live all over this country. Canada. Those people who live around LA, man, they've got a year-round, pretty much a consistent temperature. Must be nice. My wife, she's from California, from the LA area. She was a desert rat too for a while. 10, 11 years. Lived out in the desert. Palm Desert area, I guess. And she loved it out there. And I went to Vegas one time, and I think it was, oh God, it was probably, if I remember right, it was like 112, 113. A dry heat, they say. Yeah, dry heat is like sticking your head in an oven. Down here in South Texas, San Antonio area, Houston, the closer you get to the ocean, but humidity's crazy. And I know that the hottest is yet to come. I mean, this is just what, July still. We still got August and September to go down here before it starts to cool down a little bit. I remember being up in Idaho in June, around the Boise area, Snake River area, and it was pleasant. It was actually a little chilly at night. So, of course, I can't handle the brutal cold. I don't like that. I couldn't live in a place where it snowed every single year. That was just, like wherever you live up there and it snows every year, and it's just going to happen. Down here, that just doesn't happen. I've seen it snow really hard 3 times in my life. And I mean, it snowed a little bit, maybe the fourth time, but it wasn't anything significant. And I've lived in the San Antonio area all my life, so heck, you can't even drive down here when it rains. Throw a little ice in there, woo, look out. They shut down the whole city, pretty much. The last snow blast we had a few years ago, the snow apocalypse, they called it the snow apocalypse. Yeah, it pretty much shut down a lot of people. We just don't have that kind of weather down here. I mean, I think they've got the equipment now at the airport to clear the runways, but a long time ago they didn't have that snow equipment because it just never snowed up north, man. That's just standard equipment that every airport has up there. But I can't wait till it gets a little bit cooler. It's cooling down a little bit. Do some more outdoor activities. I'm getting a scratchy throat. We'll get that dang summertime cold of some sort. Anyway, I didn't really talk about anything except the weather. But I got to talk to you guys until I can turn y'all off in a safe spot. So right now, you're just going to have to look at the road construction. One day, they'll get this highway fixed. Lots of tax dollars going into that one. I don't even want to know the price tag of all of that. Of course, that's everybody in Texas is helping pay for that one. Who knows? I don't know if they get any kind of federal funding or not, but hey, it's still our tax dollars, whether you call it federal or state or local. Heck, I can barely get our little municipality to fix a dang pothole. I tell them, hey, can y'all take some of my money and go out and fix that hole in the street, please? What do you mean your money, sir? I don't know what it is with government employees sometimes. If you're a government employee, thank you for working for the government, I guess. But there are some people who think that when they work for the government that there's somehow it's an entitlement, maybe, I don't know. I'm not just talking police, I'm talking like any tax-funded business. Even the school districts, again, school districts are just powerful. Because I do got something to talk about. School districts everywhere in this country are very, very, very rich. And sometimes these school district employees can be very arrogant. And if you're a school district employee, I'm not pointing my finger at you personally. I'm just saying that some of the interactions that I've had have been good and not so good. Like my daughter, when she was in the 6th or 7th grade, I think it was maybe the 6th grade, she passed out at school. And they called my wife and told her what had happened, said that she was in the nurse's office and she's okay. She's just really dehydrated. They'd had, she passed out and she woke right back up. They brought her to the nurse's station and they gave her my wife a call, and she goes, she really needs to start drinking more water. And I said, okay. And so I asked her, I said, well, you're drinking water at school, right? She goes, well, maybe some at lunch because they don't give you much time in between classes, and the line in the water faucet is so long that if I stay in line, I'm going to be late for my class. So a lot of people don't really get to drink that much water. And I said, well, let's do this. Let me buy you a little nice water bottle. You can put it on a carabiner and hook it onto your backpack. I said, well, they don't allow that. So what do you mean? Well, they don't allow us drinking in the school because we could spill it on the floor in the hallways. Or they don't let us drink in class because, you know, a kid might slip and fall. I said, really? And so I called the teacher and asked them what was going on. You know, they pretty much said, yeah, you know, that's what's going on. I said, well, you know, my daughter, she just passed out at school because she was dehydrated because she didn't have enough time to drink water. Well, sir, we don't know what to tell you about that. I said, well, I'll tell you what she's going to do. She's going to drink water. Bring her own water bottle. Well, that's not allowed. And I said, well, let me tell you something. Why didn't y'all call EMS when she passed out? Why didn't you have her checked out by a paramedic? You know, it could have been heat exhaustion. It's hot down here in Texas. Hello. Even though the buildings are air conditioned, that doesn't mean that some of the places she had to go were outside. And I think it's this dumb rule that the kids can't have a water bottle and have a drink whenever they want. And so I wasn't getting any traction there. So we had to go higher. And I tell you what, I just told her, I said, you take this water bottle and you drink water whenever you want to. And if they say anything, you tell them to talk to me. And I didn't really have any problem with it again, but that was just crazy that you know, so you're denying our children water, and then they get in trouble if they're late to class because I was waiting in line in the water fountain to get a drink. Anyway, I tell you what, I think we pay, you know, everybody says, well, school teachers don't get paid enough. In my opinion, I believe they do. They get benefits. They get a summer vacation. Most all of them. I believe that they're paid well. And if you don't think that you're not getting paid well, then maybe teaching isn't the right profession you should be in. Maybe you should go to a higher, maybe teach college, and I don't know if they pay any better. I'm sure they do, but find something else. I mean, when half of my taxes come out each year and go to the school districts, half of my property taxes, and I'm saying half by a couple $100, almost half, let me put it that way, almost half of what I pay each year in property taxes goes to the district that my home is in. And I have a rental property too, and that half of those taxes that we pay every year go to the school district and to a college, you know, city college. It's taxing us to death, man. Again, I know I've made another video saying, you know, do we really own anything? No, man, we're just renting it from the government is all we're doing. You own your own home. You spent 30 years, 15 years, or whatever kind of note you had on your home, and it's finally paid off. Woohoo! All right, well, you're still paying rent to the government for the property that it sits on. And man, that's I don't know, man. People are trying to live on a fixed income when you get older, and you still got to pay those property taxes. Sure, I think they freeze where they can't raise them anymore once you're over a certain age, or I don't know what that age is, 65? They'll probably keep raising that because they want to milk you out of every last dime you have. And you can't make so much money if you get on Social Security, and if you make too much money, well, then you're not gonna get your full Social Security benefits. So you can't make over this amount of money. You can only have like a part-time job. You can't double